My name's Jill Sikora. I'm 36 years old, a mother of two. I have a full-time job as the membership director at Park Country Club, and my husband has an equally busy schedule, so I try to fill my time and be the most productive person I can be.
So Jill, where did you come from in terms of your health, and what were you looking to overcome?
Sure. Well, when we began this program, I think my first thing to overcome was just buttoning my pants. I just had my second baby, and prior to getting pregnant, I struggled with infertility, polycystic ovary syndrome, and hyperthyroid. And those in combination really made me struggle with my weight and my overall health.
Tell me a little bit about your daily schedule.
Well, working in sales, it's never the same. With two little kids and a son that has a lot of medical issues, we're really running around to specialists and doctor's appointments, OT, PT, along with a full work schedule. Depending on the day, I can do anything from never sit at my desk and be on the phone all day at my desk.
Before we started this, what was one of your biggest worries of putting all of this together?
I think my biggest worry was finding the time. It's really hard having a young baby. I look back to when I had my son. It was a year and a half before I even put on a pair of running shoes to start running again. So at, 7 months old, I was having trouble comprehending how I was going to fit in my fitness time around also my husband's schedule. As a golf pro in the summer, he's there at 6 in the morning, so it's really hard to find the time to work out.
What were your thoughts after the first week when we started doing this? How did you feel? Did you notice any changes? Was it difficult? Was it challenging?
The challenging part was just figuring out my food prep and figuring out how I was going to tackle everything. And the other part was, I was still nursing when I started, and at 7 months old, my daughter didn't let me sleep very much, so I was up 3-4 times in the middle of the night. So when the alarm went off at, 4:10 in the morning, it was really hard to get myself out of bed.
In terms of meeting appointments, how do you think that's helped you maintain your workout routine?
Well, I think having, a steady schedule. I came on Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30 and Friday at 6. It kind of helped me program my day. So it made it a lot easier. And I've tried to, on the days that I didn't have set appointments at the gym, still get up and do something around those times. So I now wake up at 4:10, whether my alarm's set to come here or not. Despite, wanting to sleep, I think I get up and I'm ready to go now.
We've done some DEXA scans along the way. How did you feel about seeing the results coming out of the DEXA scan for accountability?
I felt great. Secretly in my head, I called it the fatometer. And when you look at it, it's a little overwhelming, but I think it really, my goal is always to do better, so I felt like it was kind of the one thing that kept me going, is that I didn't want to disappoint myself and not have a good scan. So when I was about to put that Twizzler in my mouth, I stopped and kind of took a couple steps back and said, is it really worth it? So it kind of for me was like the motivation to keep in line.
Nutritionally, what was one of the biggest hurdles you had to overcome?
I think the biggest thing for me was remembering to eat the smaller snacks throughout the day. I tend to get going. I'm not a big breakfast person, so making myself eat breakfast, and then throughout the day being able to stop. I drove a lot of hard-boiled eggs to work and back in the beginning before I started, really focusing. And I noticed if I ate those small snacks throughout the day and really paid attention, that it paid off on the scale. So once I got in the habit of that, it got a little easier.
When you've had days in which you had a free day or an open day or a cheat day, what was your excitement leading up to it, and then how did you feel during or after?
I think the funny thing about the cheat day is I felt guilty, but not in a bad way. I just, my cheat meals were not that bad in the overall scheme. I kind of felt well, I've worked hard, I don't want to throw it away. But I definitely enjoyed a glass of wine or two on those days, and maybe pick some things that, are a little off the grid, but not too bad.
Jill got off to a fast start with her makeover, dropping over 21 pounds of fat, inches around her hips, thighs, and glutes as well. As a busy working mother of two, her workouts were done early in the morning at 5:30, combining both her strength training and cardiovascular training. Our focus was improving her lean muscle tissue so she could burn more calories 24 hours a day, even while sleeping.
I feel great. I feel, I told you when we first met, soon after I had the baby, I went to the doctor for my, post checkup with my primary, and I was really upset about my weight, and she said, "Do you think you have postpartum depression?" And I said, "No, I think I just want to button my pants." And it really, that's how I felt. I just, as a new mom, you're so busy and nursing and getting back to work and into the schedule of 2 children. I just felt very overwhelmed at the beginning, and now my skirts zip and my pants button, and I just feel, good in my clothes.